Hey guys, welcome back to 1776 or Bust. On the table you see the two Walther PPQs that I own. This video in fact is not going to be about either one of the guns per se. It's actually going to be a part 2 of sorts about the DPM systems guide rod and what I found about shooting it today. Now, the last time I went out and shot, I have to tell you, I did not have a very good day. It was probably one of my worst days shooting the PPQ since I've actually owned one. And so as a result, I said, you know what? Let me go back out there. Let me see if it was me, the gun, or something else that day. And I'm going to tell you that, first off, it was definitely me. I just had a bad day shooting. Secondly, today I shot the PPQs, and I did notice some different things. And you take it for what it's worth. You know, I know on the last video I had somebody accuse me of trying to, I guess, quote-unquote, suck ass to companies so that I can get endorsements. And I just want to say right now, I'm actually not doing that to get endorsements. I'm pretty sure nobody wants to endorse my channel. Trust me, not with the amount of viewership I have. I appreciate everybody who watches. I appreciate all my subs. But so far, nobody has offered me anything in regards to financial compensation for doing what I do. I do what I do because I actually like doing it. And I do it so that people can actually make an educated and informed decision before they actually go out and buy something. You know, unfortunately, I'm not a rich guy either. So for me to continually do reviews for all of you out there, I have to actually, contact companies, call them, email them, you name it, to try to get products. Again, I can't afford everything you see on the table. So a lot of times I will go out there. Now, no company has ever given me anything and say, hey man, you better make sure this review is good. However, if it's not a good thing, I'm not going to report on it. I'm going to send it back to them. I'm going to tell them I can't do the review. Here's why, so on and so forth. But so far, I haven't really had many of those happen. So I've been very lucky. Now, in regards to the DPM systems, how did they work? Now, I know there is some controversy about this idea. Do steel guide rods actually make a difference compared to the polymer? Some people are of the belief that the manufacturer put in there a polymer guide rod because it's flexible. And if ever there's an issue, the guide rod will flex as opposed to steel, which will not. And that could cause some sort of failure for your firearm. I honestly have not found any failures in regards to any firearm that has had a steel guide rod or even these DPM systems. Now, with that being said, there are people who believe that the steel guide rod does make a slight improvement in regards to recoil, based on the fact that there is some more front weight to the slide. Now, whether or not that's true or not, again, I'm not a scientist. I'm not going to sit here and do some sort of physics study on that. However, I will tell you that when I shot both of these today, I did notice some differences. Now, to be honest with you, they're not significant differences, at least not on this gun. I will tell you that I also shot a couple of other guns that have the DPM systems in them. For example, the P07, which I'll do another review on that at some point. But one thing I did find about the DPM systems in the P07 is very simply this. That gun shot so damn flat that it was unbelievably awesome to shoot it. Now, I have not shot the P07 in a while, haven't taken it out to range in a long time, and today after I was done shooting it, I have to say that is one of the nicest friggin' guns that I own. Now, of course, did the DPM systems help the recoil of it? In my opinion, yes, it did. It actually made it shoot much flatter than it has shot ever since I've owned it. That gun has approximately about 750 rounds through it, and I will tell you that the 150 rounds that I put it through today were just really nice. It was a nice flat shooting gun, very soft recoil. Again, it was never a very snappy gun to begin with, but today it just was perfect in my opinion. Now, I could say that same thing with the P10 with the DPM system in it. Shot wonderfully. It was a great soft shooting gun to begin with, and now it's even better. Now, in regards to the PPQ is kind of a different beast in its own. It does sit a little bit higher on the slide, in regards to the the bore axis and all that other stuff. Now, does that make a significant difference when these things are inside in regards to the DPM systems? It may not. However, one thing I am going to tell you, what I did notice today was that I did put the polymer guide rod actually back in this one and put the DPM systems one in this one. And what I did notice was that while there may not be a significant decrease in muzzle flip, there is definitely what appears to be, at least to me, a faster slide movement. So what's happening is when this gun was being shot, what I was noticing today was the fact that the slide is coming back into battery so quickly that instead of you having to drop the muzzle down, it's doing it for you because it's actually coming back that much faster. And whether or not, again, that's a scientific explanation or not, I don't know. I'm just telling you what I think is going on, and I'm telling you what I noticed. So for me today, I did shoot better with the guns. I'm going to show you some footage of shooting, and I'm going to actually show you some slow motion footage, and then you guys can determine whether or not you believe this product actually works. If it was up to me and I could brainwash all of you, I would say, yes, go out and get yourself one, at least for one gun, and see what you think. Again, I can't do that. I can only tell you that what I found was that for me personally, I felt that there was a slight improvement in the way the muzzle flip was being handled with this gun versus this gun. Now, with that being said, both guns were pretty accurate today. Did I see a noticeable improvement in accuracy? Maybe not a huge noticeable improvement, but I definitely felt that I was able to get faster on shots with this one as opposed to this one. Now, again, that's just my opinion. Doesn't mean I'm asking them for an endorsement. It just means that that's what I found. And ultimately, it's going to be up to you to make the big boy decision as to whether or not you want to buy one of these things. So let's take a look at the footage and see what happens. Now, just to give you guys an idea as to what I'm shooting, the first gun is the PPQ with the polymer guide rod. The second gun is actually with the DPM systems guide rod. One thing you'll notice is that there is a little bit less muzzle flip and recoil in the gun. Again, I still believe that the DPM system does work. So in this clip, what you're going to see me is taking some headshots, and I can tell you that after shooting the polymer and then the DPM system one after the other, the clear advantage was that the groups were much tighter, at least in my opinion, and you'll see at the end just how tighter the groups are, especially to the mid-left portion of the face. What are my final thoughts about the DPM system overall? Overall, I think it's a great system to add to any handgun that you have. Again, it's going to be ultimately up to you what you decide. I'm not here to convince you of anything. I'm just here to show you what I found and what I've noticed when I was shooting them. Now, I will tell you, in the past week and a half or so, I threw about another, probably about 400 rounds, 450 around there through the PPQ. And I have to tell you guys, it shot wonderfully. I had no failures at all with the DPM system in it. And in my opinion, the groups were tighter. Does that mean that it's for everybody? No. Some people will say, I didn't really notice a difference. Others may say they do. But again, it's going to be based upon what you think and what you find out for yourselves. Do I think this makes a vast improvement on the gun? I think it makes enough improvement for me to definitely keep it on there. I think the groups were tighter. I think the recoil was a little less, and it was a lot, in my opinion, a lot less muzzle rise in the gun. Again, each to their own, right? So as always, I hope you guys are safe. I hope you're being good out there. And as always, freedom is never free.